Hello, buddy. Welcome back to the Tin Man's Court channel. I'm your host, Jeffrey Tin Man Taylor, and today I'm going to be reacting to a tele-animated video for you guys, and this one's the evolution of Palpatine, aka Darth Sidious, animated. So without further ado, I'm going to turn these lights off, move the camera for you guys, and let's get this reaction on the road and in the back, shall we? Okay, here we go.
The Skywalker Saga. More like the Palpatine Saga. But just how has Palps evolved through the series? Let's go through his ever-changing designs and story to find out. In Episode 1, Senator Palpatine dons green robes with puffy arms, a button undershirt, and tall boots.
Right off the bat, you wouldn't think he's up to no good since he's dressed like that. But it was his plan all along to get the other Chancellor to resign and for him to step up in leadership. It looks kind of funny with that hairdo.
Also secretly sports a hooded robe with an added clasp and a plain tunic, and calls himself Darth Sidious. In this disguise, he trains a Sith apprentice and manipulates greedy aliens to start a trade war with his governed planet. With people pitying his situation, he's able to usurp the Chancellorship, which gives him close access to Jedi Padawan Anakin Skywalker. In Episode 2, he wears a black and brown ensemble with long sleeves and appears much more aged. He also wears a purple robe that has bunched shoulders and an additional cross-section down the torso.
Okay, right off the bat, he's already starting to look more evil looking in this wardrobe change with the colors being so dark. I'm surprised right off the bat that nobody didn't realize that he might be up to no good right then.
He arranges a forbidden romantic trip for Anakin, and, as Sidious, along with his new apprentice, he helps amass a droid army for separatists from the Republic. Meanwhile, as Chancellor, he's granted emergency powers, allowing the Republic use of a clone army to defend against the droid army. In Episode 3, Palpatine dresses in a textured gray robe, while his hair is now pure white. He also wears a gray version of his long-sleeve ensemble from Episode 2, and another cross-sectioned robe, but with less bunched shoulders and a red color scheme.
Now we're getting into more of a Darth Sidious Sith Lord attire. I kind of like this look better than the one he had in Episode 2. But he's really sneaky, that Darth Sidious. Got a droid army made and then getting emergency powers to use the clone army to fight him. He's one sick, twisted individual that would like to start chaos and wars.
After revealing his Sith identity to Anakin, a group of Jedi Masters come to arrest him, while he slices most of them like butter. One of the Jedi reflects his lightning back onto him, which reveals his disfigured face, yellow eyes, and rotten teeth. He recruits Anakin to help him, giving him the upper hand. He then takes Anakin on as his new apprentice, Darth Vader, and covers up his disfigurement with a black robe. Afterwards, he orders his clone army to execute the remaining Jedi. His new Sith attire consists of red robes with a heavy shoulder plate and a long pattern down the front.
Now that looks cool. I know he's a bad guy, but come on. Still acting as Chancellor even though he got disfigured, and then creates an empire, and him named as the Emperor. He means business. And this almost looks like Emperor-style robes like you probably will see in like ancient China, but in the Star Wars universe.
Well as brown robes with dark shoulder accents, taut sleeves, and a triangular clasp. Dressed in his Sidious garb, he and Darth Vader reign over their new empire. In The Empire Strikes Back, Palpatine initially resembled an old woman with bulging prosthetics and monkey irises, although in the DVD release he appears like his Episode 3 self, but he just has a quick hologram chat with Vader to talk about his son, so moving on. In Return of the Jedi, Palpatine comes to oversee the completion of the second Death Star. He now uses a cane, wears a detailed and belted tunic, and his face appears less swollen with subdued eyeshadowing.
Yeah, he's getting older. Sidious knows right here that he's getting feeble, but he still wants to rule the galaxy and make Luke Skywalker his replacement for Darth Vader. But that ain't gonna happen because
tries to convince Vader's son to become his apprentice, but after being rejected, Palpatine blasts him with lightning, only for Vader to throw him down a shaft, which...
That happens. I remember seeing that scene, I was like, yes, Vader. Thank God you took Emperor Palpatine and threw him down that reactor, because he was really one mind-controlling a-hole who didn't care about his employees, including his apprentice here. He just wanted the galaxy to himself and used him as his puppet, basically.
Apparently explodes him. The game Battlefront 2 would feature Sentinel droids with domed heads and red gowns that play recordings of Emperor Palpatine, communicating plans on how to carry on after his demise.
Man, somebody should have known that with droids with cloaks on them with his hologram recorded in it, because I know Luke Skywalker and the Resistance would have tried to get on these Imperial ships that were left and destroy all of them, just so they wouldn't follow what Palpatine wanted to do. But that is cool to see a cyborg Emperor.
Then, in The Force Awakens, a new figure would rise in the form of 7-foot-tall Supreme Leader Snoke. He wears a golden bathrobe and has a sunken, scarred face. Just a few hours later, his face looks more rounded and his shoulders appear more broad. He enlists Vader's grandson, Kylo Ren, to take out budding Jedi Rey, but instead...
You know, this is one thing I did not like about Snoke. He looked way more uglier than Sidious was, and I always thought that he was someone else that was trying to follow in Palpatine's footsteps, and he's wearing a ring that came from Vader's castle on Mustafar. But I like how Kylo had enough of him and used Rey's lightsaber to cut him in half.
Kylo slices Snoke in
Like
two,
that.
only for it to be revealed in Episode 9 that Snoke was one of many Snoke clones, somehow created by Palpatine, who himself was brought back by dark science and cloning. This time, his robe has no opening in the front and his arm sleeves are shorter. He lacks most of his scarring, is paler, has no pupils, and withered limbs which prevent him from standing. He's kept alive by a giant medical device, and now spends his time sitting in darkness amongst obnoxious strobe lighting.
I did see people's reactions to this scene, and I wish Kylo Ren could have just killed him right there. I know Sidious wouldn't like to live like this. It's almost like you put him out of his misery and he'll be happy.
He recruits Kylo Ren to kill his granddaughter, Rey, apparently born from a defunct Palpatine clone. But when his plan fails, he asks Rey to strike him down so his spirit can enter her. She refuses, so instead he sucks the Force power out of both her and Kylo, restoring his body and allowing him to leave his life support. He then trades his old robes for new black and crimson apparel, plus an electronic belt.
And I thought this look for Palpatine was way cooler than the ones he had in Episode 3. Truly shows how evil he is with that dark crimson red underrobe. But he has to wear an electronic belt like Vader had to, for some reason. Or that's just to help keep him standing up.
Despite his apparent unlimited power, when Rey deflects his lightning with a second lightsaber, he's easily torn apart, which brings Palpatine's reign to an end. Until the next clones rise to power, that is.
I believe after Rey defeated Palpatine in Episode 9, the little dark fortress that he was hiding in with all the Sith Lord ghosts, phantoms, or whatever they were, got destroyed. But I figured all the rest of the Snoke clones were deleted off as well. So hopefully Palpatine will not come back. So I don't know what they will do for Episode 10, if there ever is going to be one, unless they do a reboot. But I say Palpatine is done. But anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Don't forget to like, subscribe, turn on post notifications for more tailored animated reactions like this. This has been another successful installment of the Tin Man Score channel. I'm your host, Jeffrey Tin Man Taylor, and that's a wrap. And that's it, y'all.